Well, good evening, everyone. We're glad to be back this evening with you for another round of NSLB Live. Tonight we have a special guest, and we kind of off the chain a little bit tonight. We're going to go into gardening. We're going gardening fun with Kevin Miburn. Kevin is here with us tonight to share some things. So my name is Glenda Woolfolk, and I'm the CEO, founder, and president of the No Sister Left Behind nonprofit organization.
All right, and I'm Linda Factory. I'm the treasurer of No Sister Left Behind, and it's so good to be here. I am also the timekeeper for tonight, but I'm also so happy to be here to see Kevin and hear all about what he's doing in gardening.
Hello, and welcome. I'm Pam Walker, and I'm the vice president of No Sister Left Behind, and I'm looking forward to this session tonight on gardening.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies. Well, we're going to get started. We're going to get right into it because I believe we're going to have a good night tonight. So I'm going to introduce Kevin Miburn, and he's going to tell us just a little bit about himself.
Hey, everyone. My name is Kevin Miburn. I am the producer for Facebook Live, Garden Fun with Kevin Miburn. In my profession, I am the director of operations at Sony Pictures Animation, where I handle the day-to-day business for all of the animated series in production.
Wow. That's a lot of... That sounds like a lot. All right, Kevin, we're going to move on to our questions. Remember, in the chat line, put your questions in for the end when you're able to ask our guests any questions that you may have about gardening tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, Kevin, tell us a little bit about your Facebook Live show.
Well, during the pandemic, I was trying to figure out a way to engage my sons and give them some history on gardening. I've been gardening, well, my first exposure of gardening was from my great-grandmother, my great-uncles, my great-aunts. And so as a little boy, on Saturdays, I was working in their gardens, picking up weeds, picking tomatoes, picking whatever. My great-grandmother would go down there to Miss Parker's and give her some of these peas. And then my great-uncle, and take these tomatoes over to Miss Perez over there. So I was like the little errand boy. I was picking stuff in the garden. And so, for years, during the seasons, and I didn't know what it was for. I thought that's what we do, Yeah. And so here it is during the pandemic. I was trying to figure out a way to do something for my sons to engage them, give them some history. And so we had lived in the townhouse. We didn't know how the pandemic, we didn't know if the pandemic was going to be longer than a year or 2 years. We didn't know what it looked like. So I was like, okay, I told my wife, okay, we need to move. We need to move, and we needed a bigger space so they can get outside, because I was taking them to the park every day and doing this and that to try to keep them engaged while working from home. The Lord blessed us with a beautiful home and a yard. And so in the yard, they had some collards. It's a little collards that the other people left, and some yams. I didn't know that they were yam plants, but anyway, I knew the collards and tomatoes. So I thought, okay, this is fun. So I, tell the boys, well, when I was little, I used to have to do this, this, and this, and I would be at my great-grandmother's and great-aunts. And so one day I was out in the yard, and I looked at the space, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a garden. And so I start tearing out stuff and getting rid of stuff and laying out the landscape and looking at it and buying seeds on this big project and getting my sons to learn how to till the ground and do things, getting used to the earth, being one with the earth and the soil and all that kind of stuff. And so here it came one day. I started seeing how the garden was really growing, And so I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to go on Facebook and tell the people we got a garden, just like, I made a group, and then in a week's time, there was 30 people saying, this is encouraging. And I was like, 30? I thought it was going to be like some family to see our boys doing it. They were like, and then the next thing I knew, it grew from 30 to 60 to 80 to 100 to almost 600 people. And so I was like, oh boy, and so it became something, and so really, then when I really started thinking about it, it's about connecting to our roots and our legacy, our heritage, it's like, I thought about it like, gosh, my great grandmother's gone, my great grandfather, all of those that had gardens and were one with the earth, and we ate from their gardens. You know, we were eating collards. That was from my great aunt's garden. And so all that has been far removed. And so it really stuck out to me. I'm like, oh my goodness, we got to get back to those roots, because again, it was about community. You know, it was about take these greens down there and sister, and then in return, when I went and got the greens, then she would give carrots for our family. You know, it was like an exchange, and we've gotten so far from it. I was like, wait a minute, my boys don't even. I mean, there's nobody doing any exchanging, so it kind of like woke up something on the inside of me, and even for them, because again, we understand the whole thing about sowing and reaping, and it's in everything that has to do with our life. You know, you sow it and it comes up. You know, and it can be good or bad, but you sow it, it's coming up. And so, that started the journey of Garden Fun with Kevin Miburn. I start doing lives, and people start liking and sharing, and people start calling me like, Kev, this is really good. Have you ever thought about this? And I'm like, well, I'm just doing what's on the edge. I just want us to be informed, that, and I start going over my friends' houses, and they're like, come to my backyard. What do you think? And I'm looking at all this space. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this space. This will be a great, you need to put something over here, and you can put something over here, and the thing of it is the benefit of this whole gardening trend. I mean, there's tons of people out there, pot gardens, gardening in their yards. This has to do with not healthy living, family, therapy. There's garden therapy. Listen, I go out in the garden, I sit, and I'm just like hearing the birds chirp. sometimes I forget that I'm going out there to record content, and I'm out there enjoying it so much. I'm like, I have to press stop on my content, my cameras, because I enjoy being out there in the garden, because it does something. It is a reminder that we have to take care of us, because we're a seed from something. And here we are blossoming. We got to take care of ourselves. So with healthy eating and healthy living and the nutrients that we need, so that everybody don't like vegetables, but I'm like, listen, we need vegetables, know, and it's important, so it's been a fun journey, garden fun with Kevin Miburn. I met so many great people through this venture, and really it's about getting back to our roots, because if we don't teach our kids, our grandkids, my kids, I'm gonna tell us a little story. I took my kids to a lot that was empty. And I said, well, what do you see? And so of course my little one Tanner is like, it's empty, And so I said, no, not look at it. I said, Marty, let's look at this piece of land, and I want you to tell me what you see. So they're like, minutes went by, and they're looking at me like, okay, what is Daddy talking about? And so I was sharing them with them. I said, I want you guys to get to the place where you look at a piece of land like this and you see something on it, whether you see a garden, you see trees, you see buildings, get used to envisioning what something can be, And so I said, look at this piece of land. I said, because, if the world shut down, and I don't have to panic about going to the grocery store, because I can go in my backyard and get some greens and I can get spinach, I can get carrots. I'm not worried. But the point of it is, we should all be like that. We should. They say, well, Albertsons ran out of lettuce. Well, it's okay, because guess where I'm going? I'm going to go get some lettuce in my yard. Yeah. And so that is the spirit of it. That's the spirit of it. That is like we have to be resourceful. And I want my sons, I want you to be resourceful. We went camping this summer, and my niece Arian arranged for us to go camping, and then we were able to be able to camp, and I realized, oh my gosh, in camping we could survive because they were fishing. and we were taking everything, all the resources we had were right there. And I said, well, we can garden, we can fish, we can hunt, we can do everything that we need. We can survive, and it is about survival. Yeah. It's about survival. I'm like, if the world shut down, don't you worry about it. I know how to make a fire. I know how to knit a blanket. I know how to sew. I know how to do it all. You know, okay. So listen, can I take a station identification real quick because I feel my. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Here. So I know how to do it all. You know, I know how to do it all, and so I think that's what it is. It's about being resourceful. It's about being able to pull the pieces together and be able to give. It's being able to give back to our families through these platforms like a garden, you know, sewing, knitting, you know, some of our kids don't know how to sew unless we tell them, or crochet a blanket, but it's getting back to the root. So that's what the garden movement has been for me. You know, it's giving life, and not only giving life to me, but those that I love and people that I know. And I'm like, listen, we can put a garden. Let me help you out. You need some greens. You know, you need this. You know, and so that's you know me. I'm animated, but I'm like, let's put some stuff out. Let's grow it. You know,
right?
You know, that's how I roll. You know.
You know, I love it that you talk about how it was at that time community. When me and Linda moved out here with our mom from Omaha, Nebraska, our Aunt Naomi, she had a garden in her backyard. And I remember she had strawberries, fruits, vegetables, all those things. And you're right, it becomes community because that's the only way they would get it. They didn't go to the store for that kind of stuff. So you're absolutely right. So I agree with you, Kevin. I agree with you. I'm just glad. Listen, you can't encourage somebody if you ain't enthusiastic about it.
Right.
So I love it. So we're gonna go on to our next question. Okay, I was gonna say why gardening, but we're gonna skip that because I think you told us about why gardening. So should you be an outdoorsy kind of person to take up gardening, or is it for anyone?
You know what? I think it's for anyone. You don't have to be like, listen, there's people who grow herbs in the kitchen window. You know, you don't have to be an outdoor person. You can do it inside. I know people who got pots on their patio, you know, and they just throw some, and they forget about them, like, oh, you know, and so anybody, you don't have to have a green thumb, because guess what? You can go to Lowe's, you can go to Home Depot. They already have it grown for you. They already have it. All you got to do is get it. They grow it for you, and then you just transplant it into your yard or your pot. And so it's easy, you know. People always say, well, what should I start with? I'm like, what do you like to eat? You like tomatoes? Well, plant some tomatoes. Okay. If you like, you know, whatever it is that you like, you know, I know you see growing something in your garden you're not going to eat, you know. I mean, listen, unless you want to be a blessing to somebody and be a blessing, you want to be a blessing, like, here, come get these peas. I got some peas for you. You know, but me, I like, listen, I call my garden a smorgasbord, a buffet of all types of vegetables. So it's a smorgasbord, a bouquet of all vegetables, all vegetables. I use I put a little radishes over in the corner. They said, what is that? So those are radishes, and those are onions over there in that corner, and there's spinach over in that corner, and there's something else over in that corner. Oh yeah, I'm making a bouquet. I'm making a bouquet of vegetables. I do.
So now that it's wintertime, what do you have in your garden?
I have everything that is fall. So fall, I love gardening in the fall. So that's like any greens, broccoli, cauliflower, all the leafy greens. They love winter, you know. And so I go right there. I got Brussels sprouts happening. I got Brussels sprouts, collards. I got turnips. I got anything that grows under the ground. It's all fall gardening is the best.
We have somebody. Rachel asked the question before I lose her going up. Let's see what she got to say. It's late November. What vegetables can we plant right now in Bakersfield?
you can, what you know what I love about Bakersfield, you guys get all of the seasons. So I would encourage you in right now, get your collard green. Now don't go and get the plant and the seed and try to do it. You need to kind of be ahead of the game. So go to Lowe's, go to a local nursery and get those plants that are already planted. Anything, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, mustards, anything like that, they'll last through any, even collards will grow in the summertime, but they love fall and they multiply. Wow. And you can go snip off a few, and in about 2 weeks you have them grown back. So yeah, anything anything fall, vegetables like that, that's what you want to do. If you want those leafy vegetables, collards grow through any season, but they really thrive in the wintertime.
Wow, that's good. Thanks for your question, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.
Because I think we're going to have some questions tonight. Let's see. Okay. How much space do you need to start a garden?
Well, listen, you don't need much space. Now, listen, if you got a little small space, you can plant anything anywhere. I was on a YouTube and I saw that these people planted cabbage in their the little cracks between the brick, when the bricks laid brick in the driveway, they planted maybe 3 inches, 4 inches. And when I tell you, the whole driveway was filled with cabbage, and it only had, I'm talking about the cement crack where they planted seeds and water. And I said, well, if they can do it on the driveway, it'll grow anywhere. I was looking at our driveway, but I knew my wife would not be okay with me having a garden on my driveway, because I was like, listen, that broken cement that's right there and it's got a little soil? I know I could plant something right there and something to come up. I'm taking advantage of every piece of space I got in my garden. I'm telling you, listen, if they can do it, I can do it too.
Okay, so should your garden have access to the sun be considered in a garden?
Well, I think you want to have a space that does have access to a little sun and a balance. Because sometimes you can have like a leafy green, like say a lettuce that can't really stand a lot of sun, and it'll wilt on you while it's out there, just like we do when we get out in the sun and we wilt a little bit. Well, it's gonna wilt in the sun if it's too hot. Especially Bakersfield heat is real, just like LA's heat can be real sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I learned my beautiful lettuce was doing something, and the next day it was all wilted, so I had to get umbrellas. The umbrellas that you use at the beach. I brought me some umbrellas to put in my garden so that it'll shade them when it's real hot. I'm like, the plants are just like us. I mean, if it's too hot for us, it is going to be too hot for them.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's good, Kevin. Okay, I'm gonna ask one more question. Then I'm gonna let Pam take over. How do you prepare the soil? See, this is the part for me right here.
So soil, I think the thing when it comes to soil, if you already have your soil, I encourage you to turn it over. Turn your soil over, and sometimes you're going to need some nutrients. So I suggest that you go and get some soil that's prepared at like Home Depot or Lowe's to mix with your dirt. Because sometimes if your dirt is dirt by itself and ain't nothing, not even a weed is growing in through your dirt, you need something to help the dirt that you got. If your dirt, stuff should grow, but if you got some of that dirt that's like chalky and it's not doing anything, you need to get something to help the dirt that is not providing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you need to pick something with it. And like this is another thing I suggest, like when you have eggshells and you do your eggs and you make eggs in the morning, save your shells and throw them in the because the nutrients that are in, like the vitamin C, like even your banana peels, you can chop up your banana peels and dig a hole and put some water and mix it up with and then pour it in, because those nutrients are also, your plants will eat that nutrients, so you want to be able to mix it. I do a lot of Composting. So I compost, I save, I dig a big old hole in my garden, and I put it on, and I throw dirt on it, and I wait, and I mix it up, and then I spread it around the garden, so that the soil, because that's where your plants get the nutrients. So if you got chalky, dusty ground, well, and it's not growing, they're not going to do good. You need to feed it a little bit. So go get some soil from Lowe's and throw some in there, and mix it and water it, and show that the seeds are coming. Get ready, ground. Get ready, And so, yeah, you just get your ground ready. And then when it's time to plant, you'll see the difference. You will definitely see the difference.
Wow. Thanks, Kevin.
I've got a quick question.
Yes.
Does it make a difference if you, instead of putting it in the ground, but you know how they have those gardening, where it's above ground?
Yeah. Listen,
how do those work?
They are amazing too. Okay, so you can build them and just fill them like it's the same principle, but you'll fill them with whatever soil that you choose. Some people don't like the soil that that is mixed with a little manure, or you want whatever your choice is. But you fill them, and it works the same exact way.
Wow.
Okay.
It works the same exact way, and I absolutely love it personally. It's because you can. Not everybody wants to get on their knee and whatever and you can so it's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow.
Great. Thank you.
That's
Kevin.
good to know.
Yes.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm going to turn it over to Pam now. She's going to ask you the rest of the questions. I love it.
Miburn, you are so excited, and it's just a joy to have someone who is so excited about what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. And so my next question for you would be, if I'm a beginner, what vegetables or fruits would you recommend that I start out with, and why? Okay,
I think that one of the things, tomatoes. I think this the easiest things that you can do. Like I said, like collards are easy, tomatoes are easy. But let me tell you, you can go. Everybody knows about the 99-cent store, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you walk in the 99-cent store, and you see those little trailers that's got like little plants on them. Mm-hmm. Pay attention. Because I went in there and I got $20 worth of tomato plants that were already grown. Oh. And I took those and I put them in the garden. $20. And I got at least about 30 tomatoes right now in this season out there in my garden. Point is, you want to, like, if you're a beginner, go get stuff that's already grown. Tomatoes are easy to grow. Carrots, anything. But this is what I do want to say. A lot of people send me pictures of their gardens. Like, I started a garden, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. Send me pictures. And so, like, okay, so, and then they ask me, like, why isn't my plant producing? Well, now, okay, so imagine a pot this big, and you put your plant in the pot, and then you send a picture to me and ask me why there are no tomatoes on the plant that's in the pot, because they don't have no room to grow. You're not getting no tomatoes on it because it's still in the pot that you got when you got it from the store. And so I have these moments called graduation day. And so to graduate your plants to bigger pots so they can grow and you can get some tomatoes. And they send me the picture, and I know they don't mean no harm, and I don't mean no harm. But they send me the picture in the same pot they got from wherever they got it from, and it's like this. And they say, well, I don't see no tomatoes. Well, you're not going to see no tomatoes. You're not going to see no tomatoes. You're not going to see no tomatoes. You're just not. You're just not going to see no tomatoes because it's still in the same pot that you bought. You got to graduate your babies to bigger pots so that they can grow and spread and produce, and that you can talk about, look at my tomato, but you're not going to get no tomato if it's in the same pot that it was when you got it from the store. I'm just to put that nugget out there.
Okay. Well, what about some fruits that might be easy for the beginner?
Well, a beginner fruit, it's going to take a minute for like a fruit tree. Now, I bought a fig tree this last summer, and
they're
so
messy.
if you go to Home Depot or you go to a nursery, get one that already has buds on it. Get one that already has buds or little lemons. Like we have a dwarf lemon tree that I bought for my son Tanner because he loves lemons and that's his thing. And so I got the one that had little buds because I knew that it was already in producing mode. It was already producing, ready to produce. When you see flowers, that means that it's ready to receive, to be pollinated, and okay. And then there's some that you gotta wait. You gotta wait till you get to that space, you know. So if you're gonna buy a fruit tree, get one that you can see visually that it's ready to start producing fruit. But if not, if you buy a little one, you're not having oranges. You're not gonna have oranges in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wait till give it some time to grow, but feed it, do what you gotta do, till the soil and do what you gotta do so you can when you get to that place, you gotta have patience with fruit trees. Patience.
Well, what about like strawberries or grapes or things of that nature?
Grapes, you need patience. Strawberries, not really. You just go to the store. Home Depot will have a sale at times for these big plats of strawberries, and they'll have flowers on them. And you get your ground ready. Make sure that you put it in a place where you don't have squirrels that can get to your strawberries, and you won't have no strawberries. So you want to make sure that you put it in a place and put some little fence around it, but you will have strawberries. You definitely, and in Bakersfield, you really will have some strawberries.
Okay. All right. I'll have to try that. What daily routine do you recommend for growing a garden?
Daily routine, I think going out, checking on your vegetables.
Do you talk to them?
I talk to my vegetables.
Okay.
I talk to my vegetables and I say, oh, you guys are looking so good. Hi, Brussels sprouts. Hi, oh my goodness. And then the birds are chirping. I'm like, birds, do you see my Brussels sprout? You know, I go there. You know what I'm saying? I go there because I'm like, well, that's my therapy too. You know what I'm saying? That's my therapy too. And so I'm like, I go right there and I talk to my collards. I said, collard, you are looking pretty today. I'm so proud of you. Guys are growing. And oh yeah, I definitely do. And I get it. I said, how did that weed get right there? I'm gonna pull this weed out. And I tell them I'm gonna pull the weed out. Don't worry. I'm gonna make sure that you got plenty of soil around you. Your net. You know, I make sure that they're okay. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Well, what about the maintenance? Does it vary between vegetables and fruits? What should we be doing while we're waiting for them to produce?
I think being mindful of making sure that when a plant is growing in their roots, sometimes you see their roots, get some dirt and put it around their roots. Make sure that your dirt is leveled. Make sure that there's some things that, as far as maintenance, sometimes Epsom salt gives nutrients to your plants and stuff. You can throw some Epsom salt out there. You can throw eggshells. Those are like vitamins to your soil. Turning the soil, making the soil what it needs to be. Absolutely, absolutely.
What about disease?
Well, you just got to be careful. Anything that you see a leaf that is diseased, you cut it. So you got to do a lot of pruning. Make sure that when you see something that is discolored, and sometimes it's about nutrients. If it's not getting enough nutrients, so you want to do a balance. Sometimes make sure, like I said, those remedies with like banana peels, potassium. Sometimes your ground might need potassium. Banana peels, put it in a thing, put some water in there, mix it up, shake it up, and pour it around your plant. So there's like various remedies that you can do from home. Just like tangerine peels. That's vitamin C. Sometimes some of your plants need vitamin C. They need a vitamin boost, just like you need a vitamin boost. And
well, it's just if I'm having a problem, let's say I have a tree and it's not producing year after year, or maybe I might get a little something, but it's not where it should be. Is there a place where I can take my soil to get it analyzed?
There are companies, yes, absolutely. There are companies that will that you can go to and analyze your soil. Now, I've never had my soil analyzed because I'm like, listen, I don't play. And I'm gonna tell you what I do with my plant. If you don't grow, listen, there's a plant that will grow in my garden. Do you understand me? So I give everybody a chance in the garden to produce. I give you time. I give you attention. And when we turn now next fall, if you're not by the next time that we're planting other stuff, and you haven't, I got some cauliflower that I just talked to this morning. I said I'm a little concerned, guys, and I want you to make it through fall because this space right here is something will love this space right here. I'm a little concerned.
Space.
I'm a little concerned, and so I talked to my garden, like and now I'm waiting. I hope they get a can of act right in the meantime. But I'm just saying.
Notice.
Yeah. I've served notice today, so we'll. I got some purple mustards that would love that spot. I'm just saying. Yes.
Okay. Well, we talked about a lot of things, but what do you think are the benefits that you've received from gardening? Not only you, but your family as well.
I think the benefit is really understanding the blessing and being able to garden, what it gives to your family. I mean, there's two sides. Of course, it's healthy, but it brings you together. It brings you together. It brings you back to your roots. It brings you back to the place, of our forefathers who did this, and so, one, it's benefit, it's restoration of like legacy. It's giving your children a sense of responsibility and pride that to see something that we planted with our own hands and that sprouted and that we harvested and eating at our own table, and that's huge. That's huge. If not Albertsons, not Ralph's, we planted this in our garden. We maintained it, and we are reaping the benefits on our table, straight from our garden to our table, that we are being blessed. And if we do this with every single thing that we put our hands to, it is a benefit. It is a benefit. If I said, my boy, I know how to crochet a blanket. Last winter when it was cold, I sat there and I started. My son was like, "What are you doing?" And by the time it got big enough for him to sit next to me and put it over him, I said, "See how you benefiting from this? Do you see how you benefiting from this? You close to me when you looked at me kind of funny, like what are you doing? What are you doing?" But see, that goes back to my grandmother who taught me how to crochet. Mm-hmm. That's legacy. It's no difference with gardening, no difference with cooking recipes. When I make cornbread in the skillet that my grandmother, and I said, this is what we used to do. Get the butter. My boy, I said, son, get the butter. And then we eat cornbread. But that's legacy. That's history. Those are the benefits of being able to pass on to generations that, listen, we are resourceful and we are strong. And just because we had a pandemic, let me tell you something, my sons know, you get a seed, and you put it out here in this soil, you're gonna reap a harvest. You just keep tending to it. And we sit and have salad every salad Wednesdays. We have greens on the weekends. When my little corn, we had corn on the cob. I said, realize this came from my garden. And they said, oh yeah, this came from my garden. I said, look at that. Now I got my son Tanner. When we're traveling, he's speaking things like this. Daddy, you know what? I think I want to buy you half of LA so that we can feed people. So that we can do a garden and feed people. See, that's giving them and they're seeing, well, you know what? We need to help. See that you think that man needs some vegetables. Should we go back home and pull some vegetables? So that I said, well, I don't think he got a place to like cook it, but we can cook. We'll figure it out. But he's on the right page. He's right on the right page.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the benefit. That's what I'm receiving from just this Garden Fun with Kevin Miburn, because it's impacting lives. It's motivating. It's inspiring. It's getting people to think about, oh, we need to be resourceful. I got this lot out here, and people are like, oh, but I don't want to till the ground. It's not really that hard. I think it's the thought of it that is hard. But once you get in it, you go, oh, this is easy, because the hard part is just getting the ground ready and planting the seed. And once they grow, the rest is easy. You just watering and harvesting, And so, I think that this is something that we need to be mindful of we are resourceful people. We are. Listen, I'm encouraged. I watch No Sister Left Behind. That's because we're resourceful. Women are resourceful people, and we come from great legacy, helping other people. That's about community.
Come on now.
That's what makes my baby jump. Nobody left behind. No, we all gonna eat. We
Yeah.
all gonna eat. If one can overcome, we all gonna overcome. If we need to sit at the table together and listen, here's a piece of tortilla for you and a piece of tortilla for you. We all gonna eat. We all gonna share in this. We all gonna grow together. It's just about mindset. And so it's about sharing and preserving our legacy and taking it to the next level so that our generations can see that we can do anything. We can do it. You give us a piece of land, we'll show you, man. We'll build a house, we'll have a garden, and have a farmer's market. How you doing?
Hey. And what about canning? Have you guys started canning?
You know what? That's my next thing. I have a good friend, Jamila, who has a canning. She is a canning queen, and I'm going to do something with her. I said, okay, now I'm going to can some stuff, but I need somebody with some expertise. So, but I'm going there. I am going. Yes.
All right. Well, tell us about your new show.
Well, listen, I am excited, this is my first announcement. I've been taken on by a network here in Los Angeles, Garden Fun with Kevin Miburn, and you will start seeing promotionals and promos and things like that. It's exciting. It's going to be a daytime show on an online network, and I'm excited. I'm getting into. There's a content I'm producing for kids. Content that you're going to see some amazing things, some funny, some humor, just so people to remind people to stay hydrated, taking care of your body, taking care of your soul. You know, I got garden inspiration that I'm going to do. So I'm really excited. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity. I never imagined that this was all going to be, but I'm just going with the flow. Yes.
So where can we view you now on your garden tips?
You can view me on my garden page. It's Garden Fun with Kevin Miburn, and I didn't have it's on Facebook, and I wish I put the link in for you. But you can actually Google it. You can go to my website, www.gardenfunwithkevinmilburn.com. It's very easy, www.gardenfunwithkevinmilburn.com, and you click on the little Facebook thing at the icon at the bottom, and it'll take you straight to my page.
Well, all right. You have been such a joy.
Oh my goodness. I thank you ladies for even inviting me. You know, Bakersfield is my history, and I absolutely you all are family. Linda, and Pam, thank you so much. It was amazing. I hope that you come to LA and you'll be able to come by the garden and have some of the greens, or so I have to cook you up a meal or something. I'm just saying.
I don't turn down those.
Well, at this time, Kevin, we do have some questions for you from our audience tonight. So we're going to start with the first one here. It's the second one, actually, but it's from Jose Luis Perez. And he has a question. Can you use worms from the bait shop in a compost heap?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can use those worms and kickstart your compost heap. Yep.
Wow, that's good. Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about that composting?
Yeah, composting is really anything that you scraps from your use potatoes, anything from that you use in your like the leaves from the tops of your turnips or anything you can compost anything. Vegetables, any vegetable, like the peelings, anything from you that you don't use, even like stuff that you have and that goes bad in your vegetable bin. Put it out in a bin with some soil, mix it, add some dirt, and just keep it so that it can compost. And then you add so I do like the 7-layer burrito. What I do is I do a layer of dirt, I put the compost, then another layer of dirt, I put the compost, and then I cap it off with a top of dirt, and then I sit it out in the sun so it can dry, and then I turn it every maybe 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Jose, for that question. Thank you.
I think here we go with Rachel, I think. Here we go. How often do you water your veggies?
I water my veggies every other day. Every other day. Yeah, every other day I'm watering. Sometimes, and you just got to pay attention. If it's on hotter days, then at night I will water to make sure that that they get the nutrients they need. But I like watering at nighttime, really.
All right, ladies, do you have any more questions? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Okay. The benefit, I'm sorry, Marie's talking about the benefits of seeding.
The benefits of seeding. Yeah, it is a benefit of seeding, because the thing about seeding is you start off with your own little your seeds, you plant them and let your seedlings grow, and then they graduate and you graduate them to the garden. Yes, it is the benefits. This is the benefit. This is the benefits. You can go to the garden and get your own produce. I encourage everybody to do it. I mean, listen, you don't have to have a green thumb, but it's mindset, you know. And once you do it, once you overcome, I tell you, go to the 99-cent store and get those tomato plants and just put them in the garden, the space that you've got, and then watch. And then you'll be like, what? I got these tomatoes? Well, if I can do this with tomatoes, I can do these with bell peppers. I'm telling you, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your life.
Excellent. Here's a compliment from Marie. We all gonna eat. Love your passion, Kevin.
Oh, well, thank you, Marie. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you.
Let's see if anybody else has any other questions. Is there anything else you want to share about gardening, Kevin?
Listen, I think really honestly, it will change your life, and I just encourage everyone to bring yourself to a space. If you don't want to do it for you, do it for your family. Tell your kids, tell your grandkids, encourage them, send them some seeds. During the holiday season, I am giving away gardens to a couple of family members for Christmas. And so I'm going to go to their yards, plant their garden, nurture it for 3 months, and they're going to help me, and they're going to see the difference.
Wow.
So I'm excited. Yes. So this is a holiday. That's my way of giving back.
That's good. That's good. Let me see if we have any more. Natasha Harris says, you're too funny. She says, too funny. Okay, Senior Williams. Change the pot.
That's right, Natasha.
Change the pot.
Change the pot. If you our babies, our veggie babies are just like us. Now you can't grow in a small space. You need a space to spread your wings and fly. They need a place to spread their wings and fly too. And so just remember, your plants are a lot like you. So if you see your plant and you're like, why isn't my plant thriving? Well, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Couldn't you grow in a little pot like that and you want tomatoes? And no, you're not going to get no tomatoes. I'm just, I'll leave it alone. But I'm just saying, we all want to grow.
Okay, I started gardening after moving from Chicago 2 years ago. I love it. It's so therapeutic and inspired me to try new recipes. Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
It's inspiring and it's therapeutic. I go out there and I'm like, woosah, and I hear music, I hear the birds, and I hear the chirping, and I'm like, and it makes me just so thankful. Like it makes me go to levels. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, man, and then when you're putting your hands in the soil and I go, wow, we were like, what? And so it just takes you to levels. Yeah, I mean, it makes you grateful. It makes you like, wow, the power of our hands. Oh, please stop. Oh, please, I can, the power of our hands and the intellectual, the concepts the creativity that flows when you're in the garden, and you go like, wow, I have never paid attention to birds and hummingbirds and the pattern of how they fly. And I'm like, all that because I'm out in the garden in the morning. I'm like, wow, well, Lord, you're amazing. But it's something else. It's something else. I appreciate it. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. Keep gardening. Gardening fun.
Okay, here we have. Can you speak to safe pesticide?
Oh yeah, you know what works. Get a spray bottle and get you a couple of teaspoons of Dawn in a water bottle and fill it up, shake it up, and spray. When you start seeing the little bugs and the ants and just spray, and it'll kill it. Yeah, you can do it without having stuff that's going to impact you. Absolutely. And they have some great ones in some of the stores that, like, we've got some non-pesticide side type of stuff, and some people make it from vinegar and different. It's amazing. Yeah. So there's several different things that you can do to where you won't have to use stuff that's going to impact you and make you sick.
Wow, that's good.
Vinegar is a good one though. Vinegar will get snaps, crackle, and pop some of those things outside. Trust me.
All right.
Thank you, Vicky.
I think, do we have anyone else? Let's see. I don't see anyone else. Any more questions, ladies, to our audience? Okay, I think we got all of them, I think, so far.
Well, thank you all. Thank you all so much for allowing Garden Fun with Kevin Miburn. I just appreciate you all so much. This is amazing, and I applaud you for the work that you were doing in Bakersfield, California. Please, please, please keep me in the loop because I definitely want to support and be a cheerleader on this end. Hey, no sister left behind. And one of the things that I always say, don't forget to love, laugh, and live.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies.
We appreciate you so much. You've been such a burst of energy for us tonight.
Oh, wow.
You have been excellent. And we probably don't have a lot of questions because you explained everything. Everybody on the chat was LOL all the way down. LOL. So here we go. We got one more from Mr. Perez. He says, no more questions, but thank you for your chat. I joined the Kevin Miburn Facebook group.
Hey, Jose, welcome. Yes.
Thank you, Jose. We probably all should join the group. I think it's excellent. But do you have anything else to share with us, Kevin?
Listen, I just encourage everyone during the holidays to eat healthy, drink your water, make sure that you're getting your fluids, get plenty of rest, and just be healthy. Oh, walk if you get a chance. Walk and do what you got to do to be healthy. You only have one temple, and I encourage you to take care of it. Eat your vegetables. You need your vegetables.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin. I don't see any more questions on here, so it looks like we're going to get off here early a little bit.
Well, okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rachel.
Sharing. Okay, Rachel sharing. Okay, I think that's it, Kevin. But we just want to tell you thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. And it coordinates with our mission as an organization is wellness. And so I think this is very important as we see more people, going back to gardening in their yards. And so just to see you on your show is very, 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 very. You already got me jazzed to go start something.
Yes.
I'm just not a dirt under the fingers kind of, a lot of people say, well, I have a green thumb. But I know I don't have a green thumb.
Listen, they got gloves. They got gloves now. They got gloves that you don't have to wear. Yes, you don't have to mess up the manicure.
No excuses, huh?
Right.
So I love it. You have been very, very, very informative. When I started putting the questions together, of course the sower and the seed comes into mind out of the Bible. About talking about the soil. And then you're talking about how it produces.
Yes.
And, how all those things came together already for us. And I just think it's awesome when we finally figure that out. So so I really appreciate you coming on, Kevin, and it's always a pleasure. You are always such a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Always can bring smiles to everybody. So I want to see if Linda or Pam have anything else to say.
I'd just like to say this was excellent. And like Linda said, I've always thought to maybe start something, start a garden with my mom because she's with us now, and that would be just something awesome to do. But I just can't get on the ground. So thanks for that information about the above ground.
Elevated soil beds. They have them. Elevated. They have them.
No excuse.
No excuse. Nice.
You're muted. You're muted.
Okay. Thank you so much. Pam, are you going to do the announcements or you want me to do it?
Go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. NSLB invites you to a soulful Christmas celebration on Friday, December the 3rd at 6:30 from 6:30 to 9 at the Seven Oaks Country Club.
Where?
2000 the Seven Oaks Country Club. At 2000 Grand Lakes Avenue here in Bakersfield, California. We're going to have food, dancing, music by Don Factory, the dynamic duo, Don Factory and Darren Golston. Our DJ is going to be DJ EJC3. The attire is not formal, so you don't have to worry about that. And the cost is $25 for everyone. Seating is limited. I think right now we're at 42.
I'm sorry, 39 seats left.
39. We only have 39 seats left. So we encourage you, if you're planning on coming, to go on and register. Go on to our website. Let me put that up real quick. Go on to our website, www.NoSisterLeftBehind.org/events and register. It's only $25, and we're planning a great evening for everyone. Also, let's see, we won't have any broadcasts coming up next week. Of course, it's Thanksgiving weekend, but on December the 4th, the whole month will be about COVID hesitancy. We're going to talk about education concerning the COVID vaccine. So the whole month of December, that's what we're going to do, to try to just bring some more education into the community about COVID. So we're serious about that. So, and my next thing every week I've said is to get vaccinated, get education. That's why we're going to do in December. So talk about it, to answer questions. We're going to have people on that can answer your questions for you. So get vaccinated, get your own education. Don't listen to nobody else. Get your own knowledge in your own hand. You make a righteous decision about what you want to do. So that being said, I'm done. I think if Pam, are you going to do a call to action, Pam, for membership?
Always.
Okay.
You. Membership is so vital to any organization, but especially ours. And I would just like to I want to thank all of those ladies who have joined since I did the call, a month ago. And I said, I need 25 members before the end of the year. Well, thank you for those who answered that call and became members. I think I'm 14 short of reaching that goal, but I know that we will be able to do that before December 31st, ladies. So if you've already joined and you know someone where this organization would be a benefit to them, please encourage them to join. Okay. Memberships are $50 per year. All you have to do is to go to our website, NoSisterLeftBehind.org. Click on membership, and it will take you through a number of prompts in order to register. Again, $50 a year. You get so much more than just a membership card. You get discounts on branded items. You get discounts on any of the events. We have a newsletter that comes out bi-monthly to keep you in tune of what we're doing here in Bakersfield. So much more. You're helping your community. You're helping to lessen the disparities between Black women and others. And that's our goal. So if you believe in that, please, I encourage you to sign up and become a member of No Sister Left Behind.
That's good. Thank you, Pam. Excellent. Excellent. If there's nothing else, Kevin, did you want to say a word or two? Or
listen, again, this has been can gentlemen get memberships, or is this just exclusive? What my company?
Gentlemen can get memberships.
All right. I want to be able to support. Yes. This is wonderful, ladies. This is amazing, and so I can't wait to be able to tell a little bit about No Sister Left Behind on my upcoming my shows. So my show in development. My show will be launched in January, so get ready because I want all three of you on the show to talk about No Sister Left Behind. Yes. I'm really excited.
Oh my goodness!
I'm excited. This network. They saw my garden show. They were like, and at first I was like, well, sure, we can do the garden show, and then they were like, no, we want you to be a host for the network. So that means it's your garden show. We want to plug it. We want it to happen. But if we need you to do some other stuff with news and red carpet events, and I'm like, well, listen, I'm red carpet ready. You know what? I always stay ready because you know what? I have glasses. I keep my glasses ready. Do you understand? I keep them ready for whatever I need to. I'm always ready. I got a suitcase and travels with different stuff. You need me to? I got my microphone. I do it. Listen. I'm just leaning into it. But yes, so I'm excited about the show. I've got the kids show that's coming, the Kids Garden too. And I've got some stuff in the making, and I feel so blessed. And and I want to encourage people. I know this is a little off of gardening, but when you have a vision or a dream, it's never too late. It's never give up on the things that's on the inside of you. Some people say, "Oh, but I'm too old. I should have." No. Don't let it come out your mouth. Don't let it come out your mouth. Because life and death is in the power of the tongue. And before you even get started, you talk yourself out of it. And so you got to stay focused and bring it in. Bring it. I always tell myself, bring it in. Bring it in. Don't start thinking about all this. Bring it in. What is the subject? And I do all things. And so, I just encourage, if you got a dream, if you got a passion, do it. Whether it's gardening, whether it's sewing, whether it's writing, write the book, sing the song, write the song, do whatever it is, do it. Because it's up to you so that people can hear. Somebody's waiting for you to do what you do so that you can be a blessing to somebody. Somebody's waiting. So anyway, I just am so encouraged by you all and what your missions are and what you're doing. And I'm excited because I follow and I watch and I listen. I'm like, look at that. Go ahead, no sister left behind. That's what I'm talking about. So I am excited to actually, when we start pre-production, you are on my list, and I want to sit and I want to talk and I want to encourage and I want to hear what you're doing and I want to join in with all of the things that you're doing to impact women's lives. Yes. Yeah, and I'm hanging my coat on that because that's in the name of my mother and my grandmother. I was raised by a single mother.
Yeah.
I was raised by, my mother and my father were married for 25 years, and here I came, and they wasn't expecting a baby. But listen, my strong mother who raised me, who taught me, who trained me. And so when I see No Sister Left Behind, I'm reminded of those things, of strong women that I come from, who taught me how to sew, who taught me how to crochet. I can cook some cornbread. I can make some greens. I can make a ham and a turkey. I can make piggy. What you want? I got you. So I credit all of that to the strong women that raised me, that were my great grandmother, my mother, my great aunties, my sister, all of them poured into me, and here I am. And so I am excited that you are on the mission and what you're doing, and I so support you. I encourage you, and I'm already thinking about friends. My friends, I'm like, okay, they need to be a part of No Sister Left Behind. You need some advocates, you need some spokespeople, and I will be a spokesperson. I will tell you, listen, if we need to do whatever we need to do, we can do a virtual fundraiser. I got some friends here in LA. We can make this thing happen. I just want you all to know that I just appreciate and love and respect and honor all of you. And I love what you're doing. And I'm excited. So get ready. In 2022, we're going to be doing some things.
All right.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. We've enjoyed you just tremendously tonight. You have been just a blessing to us, to each and every one of us, and we're thankful for that. But you know what? You've never changed. This has always been Kevin. It might be new to some people on the line, but you've always been Kevin. And I was just excited when I asked you to come on, and you said yes.
Listen, I was leaping when you asked. I was like, "What? Yes! This is like a family reunion. This is so amazing." I was just so thrilled. Matter of fact, when I was driving from Orange County, I was like, "Oh, I can't wait." And I got here and I set my stuff up, and then I sat here like 5:15. I said, "Okay, you know what? You really just excited, like you're showing up for the family reunion, and you're the first one in the seat, and you're here waiting, and you can't wait to see your sisters and your family." And so anyway, I have been blessed. It's so wonderful seeing you all and seeing what you're doing. I look forward to the future. Many things, many blessings, increase, nothing lacking, nothing broken, nothing missing. Your storehouse will be full, and you will continue to be a blessing to others, just as you all have been to me. You don't know, Glenda, you've been in my life a long time, and I have some stories behind the seeds that you have planted in my life. So thank you very much. I love it and appreciate you.
Love you.
Really do. I honestly do. Thank you.
We love and appreciate you too as well, Kevin. We do, we do. So it's time for us to get on off here, but I thank you again, Kevin. I thank you, Pam, and I thank you, Linda. And most of all, we thank you to our audience. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. So we're grateful to you. And we'll see you on the 4th of December. We'll be back at that time. Have a great, great Thanksgiving and a good time. Thank you so much. We love you all. Good night.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.